Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. We're back in my kitchen and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a delicious chili recipe, perfect for the chilly weather. Y'all stay tuned and I'll be right back to show you how it's made. Alright guys, so we have all of our ingredients here. Let's go ahead and go over those right now. So here I have 2 packages of the McCormick. It's the mild. You can get the hot or spicy if you like. I just get the mild. This is 2 packs, okay? And here I've got 1 tablespoon of chili powder. I've got a half a teaspoon of cumin, a half a teaspoon of paprika, a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, okay? There's all that. I've got a stick of butter, 3 pounds of ground beef, and all I did was just add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, okay? That'll go into the pot together. I've got 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce, okay? No salt, don't get it with salt. No salt, because we add a lot of seasonings, it's gonna come out too salty, okay? And then we do the Swanson beef broth. You're gonna use 2 cups, okay? This is 32 ounces, so it's half, okay? If you wanna measure it out, you can, or, you know, just watch it and pour in just half of it, okay? So the first thing you're gonna do is put in your butter, okay? Put the butter in, let that start to melt, and then we'll add in our vegetables, okay? Just kind of turn your heat up a little bit so this can get all nice and melted. We're gonna kind of caramelize our vegetables, okay? Our onion and our bell pepper, we're gonna cook those together before we put in our ground beef. Okay, and y'all can make this with ground turkey, ground chicken, you know, and by the way, on the hamburger meat, I used the 73-27 because it has a little bit more fat, and I like it. I like using that one better because of that reason, for the flavoring purposes. So y'all can use a leaner meat if you want. That's what I prefer. Okay, this is already starting to get nice and melted. So I'm gonna add my onions and my bell pepper. Okay, we're not gonna add the tomatoes just yet, okay? Just the onions and the bell pepper, okay? This is 1 whole chopped white onion. 1, okay? 1 is enough. Got my tomatoes trying to sneak in there, okay? This is 1 whole chopped bell pepper, okay? Remember, we're gonna cook I wanna cook this down in here, okay? For flavoring purposes too. Got some hiding under here, which I'm not really that worried about, okay? It's fine. All right, so let's caramelize this all down, okay? Once this is nice and caramelized, we're gonna come in and add in our ground beef. Alright guys, so now that we have our onion and our bell pepper nice and caramelized with our butter, this is how it's gonna look, okay? You don't wanna overcook them too much because remember, this is all gonna go in the same pot and it's gonna have to simmer once we put all of our ingredients together for the chili, okay? So try not to overcook them. Plus, if you cook them too long, the butter, it disappears, okay? I like the butter. We wanna keep the butter in the recipe. We don't want it to get all dried up. Okay, this right here is perfect. This probably takes about 7 minutes to do, okay? Alright guys, so now that we let our onions and bell pepper caramelize, we went ahead and added in our hamburger meat, okay? You're just gonna continue this process until your hamburger meat is nice and brown. And don't drain the meat, okay? You want all those juices that you get from your meat. Alright guys, so now that our hamburger meat is finished cooking, this is our end result, okay? This is how it's gonna look. See all these juices that I was telling you guys about? Don't drain your meat, okay? This stuff is delicious. You don't wanna lose any flavoring, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this hamburger meat over to my pinto beans, okay? These beans are fresh beans, okay? Fresh pinto beans. See that? Okay? You can use canned if you want. You don't have to use the fresh ones. I just prefer it that way because fresh is always better, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this to our beans and then we'll put in all of our other ingredients. All right guys, now that I added my hamburger meat in there to my beans, you're just gonna kind of give this a little stir, okay? And now we're gonna start adding all of our ingredients, okay? This is where we add our tomatoes, tomato sauce, everything. I'm gonna go through every single one with y'all, okay? And remember, everything that I have here is gonna be in my description below. And if you haven't already, y'all go down, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, all the support I can get. Okay, this here is the 2 packs of the McCormick mild, okay? You can get the spicy or hot if you want, but I like the mild, okay? We're gonna add this one in first, okay? All you're gonna do is just mix it in little by little, okay? And then remember, this was our salt, pepper, chili powder, and paprika, okay? And cumin, okay? We're gonna add all that in, okay? Just give it a little stir here. Just make sure you make all this little, because sometimes the mix for the McCormick, it kind of gets like on like a chunkiness or something. So just make sure you kind of break it down to make sure that everything gets mixed in there well, okay? Now I'm gonna come in with my tomatoes and my tomato sauce, and then we'll add our beef broth, okay? So let's add in these tomatoes, okay? Remember, this is 4 regular sized tomatoes, okay? You don't have to chop them super fine. You can chop them just like I've got here, okay? They're not too big, not too small, because remember, this is gonna cook down, so they're just gonna mix into their perfect, okay? So don't cut them too small. They'll disintegrate. Okay, so we added in our tomatoes, okay? Now we're gonna add in our tomato sauce. Remember, I told you guys, this is 2 of the 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. No salt, okay? Remember all those seasonings I just put in? If you get this with salt, it's gonna be too salty, okay? I always prefer it with no salt, okay? We're gonna go ahead and add that in there, okay? Now we're gonna come in with our our beef broth, I'm sorry guys, not chicken. If you're doing ground chicken, you can use chicken broth, okay? Remember, this is the beef broth. I always get the Swanson. You can get it in the cans too. I just like to get it in this because I use it often, okay? And this is a 32 ounce. We're gonna use 2 cups, which is half of this, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it in, okay? About half, okay? Just watch it. Unless you want to measure it out, like I said, you can if you don't think you can do just half. It's not wanting to come out of here. There it goes. Okay. Now what you're gonna do is mix in all this together, and we're gonna let this cook, okay? I would recommend you letting it cook for probably about 45 to 50 minutes, maybe an hour. I guess it just depends on how low you want to cook it on or how high you want to cook it on. I prefer that you do more of like a simmer, because you want all the flavoring and everything to get into everything in here, okay? You want everything to mix in well, okay? So we're just gonna let this cook for about 45 minutes, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. All right guys, our chili is done. I let it simmer on a medium to kind of a low heat for about 50 minutes. And this is our end result. What do you think? Doesn't that look yummy? Doesn't it look yummy? Look at this. Ooh, look at that. See all the tomatoes and beans and all the spices we put in there all came together. Now I'm gonna plate it. okay? And then I'm gonna put a few toppings on it. All right, guys, so now we're gonna dress our chili up, okay? Here I have some cut chives, some mild cheddar, this is about 1 pound, and some Daisy sour cream, okay? Don't go cheap on the sour cream either, okay? Daisy's the best. First, we're gonna put some cheese, okay? Just like so. Okay, then we're gonna put a dollop of Daisy. Just like that. Look at that. Then you're gonna top it off with some chives. Look at that. And that's it. There's your chili. All right, guys, there you have it. My famous chili. Doesn't that look good? Make sure y'all go and give this a try, okay? Send me some comments. Let me know what you think, okay? I promise you, it's delicious. And make sure y'all come back to my channel, okay? Because I'm always cooking up something in this kitchen just as good, if not better than this, okay? So y'all make sure to come back. Y'all take care. Be safe in these times, okay? Bye-bye now.